Mina did not know that she would leave the city in 2 weeks. She did not know that someone would almost say something important. And she did not know that one message, unsent, would stay in her mind long after she was gone. It started with a simple email, nothing special, just a subject line in a quiet inbox. But sometimes, the smallest things begin something we do not expect. Welcome to English Stories, Listen and Learn. In this channel, you listen to short stories and learn English naturally. This story is Easy English, Level A2. Relax and enjoy the story. Part 1. The New Inbox. Mina moved to a new city for work. She did not know many people there. Her days were busy. Her nights were quiet. Too quiet. She stayed in a small apartment near the office. It was clean, organized, and completely silent. After dinner, she often sat on the sofa with her phone in her hand. She scrolled. She watched short videos. She checked messages. Most nights, her screen stayed quiet. No new texts, no new plans, just the same silent time stretching in front of her. One Thursday evening, she opened her email. She wanted to check something for work. But one subject line caught her eye. Welcome, team dinner list. She clicked it. The email was from someone named Mark. It was short, clear, simple. And for some reason, it did not feel cold. She started to type, "Hi, I'm Mina. I don't have allergies. Chicken is fine." She stared at the sentence. It looked too friendly, too open. She deleted the first line. She wrote again, "Chicken is fine." She stopped. Why did this feel difficult? It was just an email. She sighed and pressed send. A few minutes later, "Thanks, Mina." That was all. But something in the night shifted slightly. Not happiness, not excitement, just less silence. Part 2. The Elevator. The next morning, Mina arrived early. The office was quiet. She liked quiet. It felt safe. She made tea in the kitchen. Steam rose slowly from the kettle. Then she heard footsteps. A man walked in. Calm, dark shirt, laptop in hand. He smiled. "Morning." "Morning." He poured coffee. Then he looked at her again. "You're Mina, right?" She blinked. "Yes." "I'm Mark." Her chest tightened slightly. "The email guy," she said without thinking. He laughed. "Yeah, that's me." She looked down at her cup. He did not stay. He did not push the moment. "See you around." Later, in the elevator, they stood together again. Bright lights, small space, other coworkers inside. No one spoke. At one floor, everyone stepped out. Now it was only them. The silence felt different now. "First week?" Mark asked. "Yes." "How's it going?" She thought. "Busy, but okay." "That sounds right." The doors opened. She stepped out. "See you." "See you." Simple words, but they stayed with her. Part 3. The team dinner list. On Monday, Mina worked late. Most people left early. The office became quiet again. She was packing her bag when she got a message on her phone. A new email. It was from Mark again. Subject line, quick question. Mina opened it. Mark wrote, "Hi, Mina. Do you prefer tea or coffee at the team dinner? We are ordering drinks in advance." Mina blinked. Tea or coffee? It was a simple question, but it felt like more than a question. Mina typed, "Tea." Then she deleted it. She typed again, "Tea, please." Then she stopped. She stared at the screen. She did not want to overthink it, so she pressed send. A minute later, Mark replied, "Tea it is, thanks." That was all again. Short, clean. Mina leaned back in her chair. She listened to the office sounds. A printer, a distant door, a quiet air conditioner. Then she smiled a little. It was small, but it was real. Part 4. The Empty Chair. The team dinner was on Wednesday night. They met in a restaurant near the office. The lights were warm. The tables were close together. People talked and laughed. Mina sat between two coworkers. She listened more than she spoke. She smiled at the right times. Mark sat across the table. He looked calm, like always. At one point, someone asked Mark, "How do you know all this stuff?" Mark shrugged. "I don't know," he said. "I just write things down." People laughed. Mina watched him. He did not talk too much. He did not try to be the center. He just stayed present. Halfway through the dinner, one coworker got a phone call. She stood up fast. "Oh, sorry," she said. "I have to go." She left her chair empty. Nobody moved into it. It was just there. Mina noticed Mark looking at the empty chair. Then he looked at Mina. He pointed at the chair with his eyes like a small question. Mina understood. She moved her bag and stood up. She walked around the table and sat in the empty chair. Now she was closer to Mark. Mina's heart beat a little faster, but she kept her face calm. Mark smiled slightly, like thanks. They did not speak about it. They just sat and listened to others. But the space between them was smaller now. Part 5. The Walk to the Train. After dinner, people went home in small groups. The street was cool. Cars passed. City lights shone on the wet road. Mina walked toward the train station. She was alone. Then she heard footsteps behind her. Mark caught up. "Hey," he said. "You're going to the station?" Mina nodded. "Yes." "Me too," Mark said. They walked side by side, not too close, not too far. For a moment, they said nothing. Then Mark said, "You were quiet tonight." Mina looked ahead. "I'm always quiet," she said. Mark smiled. "Not always," he said. Mina didn't answer. She didn't know what to say. They reached the station. People stood and waited. A train sign blinked above them. Mark looked at the screen. 2 minutes, he said. Mina nodded. Then Mark said, "Do you like this city?" Mina thought. "It's busy," she said. "But the nights are very quiet." Mark looked at her for a moment. "I understand that," he said. The train arrived with a long sound. Doors opened. They got on. Inside there were empty seats. Mina sat near the window. Mark sat across from her. The train moved. Mina watched lights pass outside. Mark looked down at his phone. Then he looked up. Their eyes met for 1 second. Mark looked away first. Mina did too. The train felt steady, and Mina felt something steady too. Part 6. The Unsaved Number. The next day, Mina had a hard morning. A meeting went badly. A client was unhappy. Mina felt tired and tense. During lunch, she sat alone in the kitchen. She ate slowly and stared at the table. Her phone buzzed. A message. Unknown number. It said, "Hey, it's Mark. Are you okay?" Mina froze. How did he get her number? Maybe from the team list. Mina typed, "I'm fine." Then she stopped. She deleted it. She typed, "I'm okay, just a hard day." Then she stopped again. She looked around the kitchen. No one was there. It felt too open to answer. Then she remembered something. Mark was not loud. Mark did not push. Mark kept things simple. So Mina pressed send. A few seconds later, "Yeah, I get it. Wanna take a short walk after work?" Mina stared at the message. A walk. After work. She usually said no to things like that. She usually went home and rested. But today she did not want to go home to silence. She typed, "Okay, just a short walk." She pressed send. Then she looked at his number again. She did not save it. Not yet. Part 7. The Small Park. After work, they met outside the building. The sky was pale and cloudy. The air was cool. They walked to a small park near the office. There were trees and benches. A few people walked dogs. Mina and Mark walked slowly. They did not rush. Mark said, "Hard day?" Mina nodded. "Hard day." Mark didn't ask for details. He just said, "I'm sorry." They walked in silence for a minute. It was not an awkward silence. It felt calm. Mina looked at the ground. Then she said quietly, "I feel alone here sometimes." She surprised herself again. Mark nodded. "Me too," he said. That was all. But it felt like a real answer. They reached a bench. They sat down. Mina looked at the trees. Leaves moved gently. Mark looked at his hands for a moment. Then he said, "You don't have to be perfect at work." Mina blinked. "I know," she said. "But I want to do well." Mark nodded. "That makes sense," he said. Mina looked at him. His face was calm. His eyes were kind. Mina felt her chest loosen a little. They sat for another minute. Then Mark stood up. "Short walk?" he said with a small smile. Mina smiled back. "Short walk," she said. Part 8. The Draft Message. That night, Mina went home and ate a simple dinner. Then she sat on the sofa again. She opened her phone. She saw Mark's last message from earlier. "Wanna take a short walk after work?" She read it again. And again. Then she opened a new message. She typed, "Thanks for today." Then she stopped. She deleted it. She typed again. "Today helped. Thank you." Then she stopped again. Her thumb hovered over the send button. It was not a big message. It was not romantic. It was not dramatic. It was just honest. But honest felt scary. Mina sighed and put the phone down. 10 minutes later, she picked it up again. She typed, "Thank you for the walk." She pressed send quickly before she could change her mind. A minute later, Mark replied, "I'm glad you came." Mina read the words and felt a soft warmth. She didn't reply, not because she didn't want to, but because she didn't know how. So she just held the phone for a moment and let the night feel a little less empty. Part 9. The day she had to leave. 2 weeks later, Mina got an email from her manager. Her project was ending earlier than planned. She would leave the city on Friday. Mina read the email twice. She felt happy and sad at the same time. That evening, she went to the office kitchen to make tea. Mark was there. He looked at her face and said, "Something is different." Mina held her cup with both hands. She said, "I'm leaving on Friday." Mark did not speak for a moment. "Oh," he said softly. Mina nodded. "My project is finished." Mark looked down at his cup. Then he looked out the window. Mina wanted to say, "I will miss you," but the words stayed in her mouth. Mark wanted to say something too. Mina could feel it. But he did not. The kitchen was quiet. A fridge hummed in the corner. Someone laughed far away in the hallway. Then Mark said, "Do you want one last short walk tomorrow?" Mina's heart jumped. She nodded. "Yes," she said. "Tomorrow." Part 10. The message he didn't send. Mark reached into his pocket and took out his phone. He opened a message. Mina could not see the words, but she saw his face change slightly, like he was about to step forward, like he was about to cross a line. His thumb hovered over the screen. Seconds passed. The air felt still. Mina felt her heart beat faster. She did not move. She did not speak. She waited. Then, he locked the phone. He did not send the message. Instead, he looked at her and said quietly, "Have a safe trip." Mina nodded. "Thank you," she said. She wanted to ask, "What were you going to say?" But she didn't. She wanted to say, "I will miss you." But she didn't. They stood there for a moment longer. The park was quiet. Leaves moved softly above them. Mark put his phone back in his pocket. He gave her a small smile. Not a brave smile. Not a confident one. Just an honest one. They looked at each other. No promises. No plans. No numbers exchanged. Just a moment. Real. Small. And unfinished. That night, Mina packed her bag. She sat by the window one last time. City lights moved outside. Busy, bright, alive. Her phone rested beside her. She picked it up once, then put it down again. No new message. No goodbye text. But she understood something now. Some connections are not meant to continue. They are meant to exist. Brief, gentle, and almost spoken. And somewhere in the city, there was still a message he didn't send. The end. Before we continue, if this story helped you practice English, subscribe to English Stories Listen and Learn. Real stories, natural English. Now, let's review the A2 vocabulary from this story. Listen carefully. First, you will hear the word, then the meaning, and finally, an example sentence. Unsent. Unsent means not sent. Example: it was an unsent message. Subject line. Subject line means the title of an email. Example: the subject line caught her eye. Inbox. Inbox means the place where emails arrive. Example: she saw it in her quiet inbox. Dramatic. Dramatic means very emotional or exciting. Example: nothing dramatic happened. Busy. Busy means having a lot to do. Example: her days were busy. Silent. Silent means with no sound. Example: the apartment felt silent. Scroll. Scroll means to move up or down on a screen. Example: she scrolled on her phone. Stretch. Stretch means to become longer. Example: the evening stretched in front of her. Allergies. Allergies means a problem with some foods. Example: she did not have allergies. Delete. Delete means to remove something. Example: she deleted the first line. Sigh. Sigh means to breathe out deeply. Example: she sighed before pressing send. Shift. Shift means to change a little. Example: something shifted in the night. Tighten. Tighten means to become tense. Example: her chest tightened slightly. Elevator. Elevator means a lift in a building. Example: they met in the elevator. Blink. Blink means to close and open your eyes quickly. Example: she blinked in surprise. Steady. Steady means not moving or shaking. Example: the train felt steady. Tense. Tense means not relaxed. Example: she felt tired and tense. Unknown number. Unknown number means a number you do not know. Example: a message came from an unknown number. Push. Push means to force someone. Example: he did not push the moment. Awkward. Awkward means uncomfortable and strange. Example: the silence was not awkward. Perfect. Perfect means without mistakes. Example: she wanted to be perfect at work. Draft. Draft means a message not sent yet. Example: he opened a draft message. Hover. Hover means to stay close without touching. Example: his thumb hovered over the screen. Exchange. Exchange means to give and receive. Example: they did not exchange numbers. Promise. Promise means something you say you will do. Example: they made no promises. Unfinished. Unfinished means not completed. Example: the moment felt unfinished. Brief. Brief means short in time. Example: it was a brief connection. Gentle. Gentle means soft and calm. Example, it became a gentle memory. Shrugged. Shrugged means to lift your shoulders to show you don't know or you are not sure. Example, Mark shrugged and said, I don't know. Great job! You have finished the A2 vocabulary for this story. You can listen again, repeat the words, and try to use them in your own sentences. Thank you for learning with English Stories Listen and Learn. See you in the next episode.